Hello, this is Deborah Yao with Black Education TV. Now, I'm going to be dropping in the description area a link to a video that was shared on Facebook. It's a young man who is a black business owner, and he's really hyped right now. Understandably so. Understandably so. In the video, which you can see for yourself, I'm just going to go ahead and comment on it now. And you'll only see just the image here, or maybe I'll drop the video in, or just the image or whatever. But anyway, the young man is making some very good points about how we support businesses outside of ourselves, despite how they treat us. Okay?
You know what I'm saying? All these black seafood spots that we don't support. Right? All these black restaurants and black-owned businesses that we don't support, but yet we take our money to these white folks, right? And if you ask me, all that do is promote, you know what I'm saying, slavery, really, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? We go out and we bust our backs for minimum wage, you know what I'm saying? And we some of the hardest workers in the country, and then we go out and we spend our money with them, whether it's Ruth Chris, whether it's Joe's Crab Shack, whatever it is. But we look over the black establishments because most of the time they're not as nice as these white establishments. But the reason why they're not fucking nice as these white establishments is because these white establishments know that they can build you whatever they want to build you, because you're not gonna question that. I started to make a post a while back, you know, right in Cocoa where I'm at. It's fucking mobile gas station that sell food, right? And I was right down the street with my food truck, you know what I'm saying, selling $15 organic meals, you know, rotisserie chicken, good right? You know what I'm saying? I'm selling this right down the street, and motherfuckers complained about the prices. Not all, but some, right? But the some that complained were mostly black, right? And the thing about it is they'll go down to this mobile gas station right down the street, a gas station, people, right? And these Arabs are Indian that run it, and you know what a chicken wing is, man. It's a goddamn drum and a wing, right? Connected. That's a chicken wing. But these even selling chicken wings. They selling wings chopped up. So you actually getting a drum and a wing advertised as one, you know, single pieces of chicken. And they sell you 10 of these $10. No fries, no drink. But you telling me that you will complain about a whole fucking meal, right? But you will go down there and you will pay $7 for just a hamburger. You know what I'm saying? $10 for just wings. You know, had this been broke down, you probably, you know what I'm saying, to your damn understanding, you would probably think that, damn, you know, $1 per piece of small ass chicken is too much. But you don't question nothing. We don't question nothing when it's coming from somebody outside of our race. But if it's us, we think that it's a problem. We question anything that another black person bring towards you, because you think we trying to get over on you. But these that enslaved you and beat you and lynched you, they can't be. You feel me?
In the video, he's talking about something that he saw at Joe's Crab Shack, okay, that a couple of other people saw at Joe's Crab Shack. He's talking about there's an in-bed in the table where they have some epoxy over some images, some newspaper clippings of blacks hanging, some lynchings, and they're advertising the lynching, when it was going to take place, location, and all this stuff, you know. And he goes on to talk about how many times of a black person came into this restaurant and saw those images embedded in the tables like it's some type of art put on display, and just sat there and continued to eat, said nothing, and just paid their money, went on their way, and probably even came back, didn't say anything about it, wasn't upset about it, just, oh, whatever, I'm eating my food and I'm up out of here. He's bringing some valid points of how these people are in your face with this racial hatred, and even taunting of us about things that happened with the slavery bit, and this, even though slavery was abolished at this time, the hangings is being advertised as some type of souvenir in the restaurant. Babies being thrown to alligators is another one, where they had all of these relics, all of these antiques that they would sell and put on display, postcards, celebrating the killing of black babies. And so this young man, he goes on to talk about how we just take ourselves up in these establishments and they've already made it known many times over, many times over. We're constantly hearing things of how blacks are being made to sit in locations or made to stand and wait while they seat other parties, or telling a party of 25 black people to move or to leave the establishment altogether because a couple of white people are uncomfortable. I mean, so much of this stuff has played out over the years, and yet and still we still pile in. Now, the interesting part about his story was this, and we hear this all too often. He's talking about how he himself has a food truck, and he sells good organic food. He says he sells good organic food too, but how he gets complaints from our people talking about he's charging too much. Now, he says, I'm giving you good organic food, good healthy food, and he's giving a whole meal, and he's charging $15, but he says some of our folks are saying that's too much, and that our own people are always trying to accuse you of getting over on them when you're a black person with a business. And he goes on to talk about how some of these same people, some of our people go into these gas stations. Now, we're talking about a gas station now, family, not a restaurant, but some jive gas station. And they're selling a 10-piece wing special. And this is what he said about it. You'll hear for yourself, but it just blows my mind that this is how our people think. He says they'll go in there and spend $10 for wings that are cut in half. So you're not getting a full wing. You're getting wingettes. I believe that's what they call it, where they separate the drumette from the wing portion. And so they're selling that as two separate pieces. And so they give you 10 of those wingettes, which is really just 5 wings, and they're charging you $10 for it. And he talks about how our people ain't even thinking. They'll go in there and they'll drop that $10 down. Don't even think about it. He said no fries, no drink, nothing with it, just 10 wingettes. But they're complaining when he charges $15 for a rotisserie meal with everything, with all the sides and everything. And he talks about how if our people were really to sit down and do the math and see that they're actually charging you $1 for one wingette, maybe, just maybe. But then again, I don't know. Now, there's always this accusation that if a black person owns a business that has a target market of black people, whether you're selling clothes, apparel, music, you're selling your services, you're selling food, no matter what it is, a so-called black person is selling to a so-called black market. This young man talks about how it's always perceived as, oh, he's just trying to get over on us. But we will go to these other establishments of people who have made it known time and time again that they can't stand us. We will go there and drop all of this money down, no questions asked. The service is bad. Sometimes they mistreat you. Sometimes they sit you in the back. Sometimes they make you wait. I remember years ago when, before I got married, I worked for a financial planning firm. And my boss was actually a black man, doing very well for himself, training his sons to carry on the business and all of that, doing very well. So from time to time, he would take the whole staff. He would take all of us out to lunch. And one time we went to Denny's. Okay, now I'm young at this time. I was about 19 years old. This is I wasn't married at the time, but I was. Me and my husband were courting at the time. But we all went out to Denny's, and when we got there, there's all these waitresses just standing up along the wall. We see other people come in. They come and greet them and seat them, and next thing you know, okay, we finally get a seat, but we're sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting. It seems as if a whole half hour or more went by and no one even came to greet us. But yet we see 3 or 4 Caucasian waitresses just standing around talking. And so finally, the boss's son gets up and confronts them and says, look, we've been sitting here almost a half hour or more waiting for service. Can we get some service? Now, back then, I was a young woman who was just, very shy still at that point. So I probably wouldn't have even thought to say anything. But thankfully, Junior did say something. But in retrospect, I probably wouldn't have wanted to eat any of that food. Back then, I didn't have the same convictions that I have now. I was very in tune with racism and all that, but I wasn't the type to speak up against it at that age in my life. So I probably wouldn't have eaten the food because knowing what I know now, it probably has some special sauces added to it, if you know what I mean, because it took them forever to even come and acknowledge us. And then it took them even longer to finally serve us. Who knows what went on behind closed doors, if you know what I mean. So I totally get and understand where this young man is coming from, how we subject ourselves to this. You see, we go to these places and they show us how they feel and they make it very clear to us. But yet we go there anyway. And then we got the nerve and the gall to speak against another black man or another black sister who is trying to make a living, trying to earn some money, whether it's this young man with his food truck or someone with a restaurant or someone with music or anything that a so-called black person does to try to earn money for their family, to try to earn a living. It does not even matter to try to earn an honest living, to try to make extra money for your family. You got other so-called black people saying that you're trying to get over on them, while at the same time blowing the majority of their money with these other establishments and these other businesses who can care less about you. This is classic crabs in the barrel. And if you haven't already seen this young man's video, please go and look at it. His frustrations are very real. Many of us share these frustrations because we are tired of our people being mistreated by all of these other people, and we just accept it. We shove it off as nothing. We continue to patronize these places and go there, spend our money, just pouring money into these other communities, pouring it in. But look at another black person like they're wrong for trying to earn some money, trying to have an honest living. It don't matter what you're doing. I mean, the simplest of things. You can have a lemonade stand in the so-called black community, and somebody going to be trying to say you getting over for charging 25 cents a cup because they think they should get it for 15 cents. Of course, I'm reaching real low. I'm just trying to make a point here. You see, I know of so-called black people who will go to Starbucks. Now, y'all know how expensive that stuff is. I've never bought anything from there, but I've heard that their prices are off the charts. And we all know of so-called black people who go to Starbucks and they will spend that money because they say, oh, their coffee is the best. So because you say their coffee is the best, you will go and you will spend that ridiculous amount of money for their beverages. But let a so-called black person try to sell you a beverage for $1.50. Your head almost pop off of your shoulders, saying that this person is trying to get over on you. Do you understand the whole concept of making a profit? If it cost this brother, and I'm going to just throw a number out there, if it cost this brother $9 or $10 to produce this organic meal that he's prepared for you, why do you think he's trying to get over if he's charging $15? So what do you think he should charge you for it? If it cost him $9 or $10 to make it, what do you think he should charge? $10.50? So are you thinking that this brother should only make maybe 50 cents or not even $1 profit Is that what you're thinking? While you go and sit up and you go to this, as he stated, gas station, who's charging you $10. $10 for 5 wings that they've cut up to give you 10 wingettes. And I believe he said the hamburgers they charge $7 for. Shame on us for letting people do this to us, and shame on us for refusing to support one another. So we need to stop complaining about what other people do to us if we're going to keep on doing this to ourselves and to each other. We might as well just be quiet, hang it up. Okay, family. If you haven't seen the brother's video, the link is in the description. Go and watch it. And some of you may agree with his feelings. Some of you may not, because some of you will forever be stuck in this matrix of wanting to support those who can't stand us. While some of you will finally get it that we need to start supporting our own and stop trying to rain on each other's parade and stop trying to pull one another down and assuming that someone's trying to get over on you for trying to make an honest living. Okay, family, I'm out.